Hi folks, in this little video clip today I want to make a few words about metal lips to your homemade lures and self-centering line ties. You know, I've been doing such self-centering line ties for about 2 or 3 years now, being inspired by Australian lures. The Australian folks call these ones omega clips, the line ties. The difference to mine is that they would use springy wire and just clip them into the slots in the lips. I'm making them loosely, so secured with a split ring. And I've really never had any bad experiences with them. The lures always track true, provided that you work accurately in terms of the lip angle and symmetry, and that it would be straight to the body. And the line ties require to sit loose in a slot in the lip, which I furnish by drilling 3 holes in line 1.5 millimeters with this drill and the collet of my Dremel, and then widen them with this router bit 2 millimeters to a slot in a way that the wire form has half to 1 millimeter play up and down, and can be moved about 25 to 30 degrees to either side, so it has enough play to swing to required position as the lure is wobbling along. Naturally, I do not trust on lips just glued in with epoxy glue. I would also pin the lips with 3 or 2 wire pins passing through the timber material and the lip material. I'll get back to that later. Okay. Here's a lure that I've just completed today. Here you see the wire pins. I've made them longer than necessary now, just for assembly. Of course, later when finally gluing in the lip, I would snip them off to not to protrude over the lure body anymore. So I pull these out now. So this is how I do my lips. See the pinholes and some holes for better bondage of the glue. Also some grooves cut into the aluminium lip for better glue bond as well. Some slots here so it would not tear out. This is my basic construction. Advantage of it is that when gluing together, the lip will be readily positioned. Okay, I will do this later. Just stop this now. This particular lure is still in a blank condition. The timber has never been sealed, and I have already picked the correct hook sizes for it, so that will be the next step, to disassemble and seal the lure. Alright, since I've said that I'm pretty fond of this self-centering line ties, because I do not have any troubles of tuning the finished lures like with a fixed line tie. Here's another construction of a self-centering line tie on a Z-lip or pikey lip. As you can see, here's a solid metal bead and the wire just passing through and kinked off around the bead. Naturally, the hole has to be maybe 2.5 to 3 times as large as the wire diameter, so that the eye could also swing 30 degrees left and right, and naturally with this construction also up and down. I haven't made too many lures with a self-centering line tie with such Z-lip, since I'm not quite sure whether they would perform well and let the lure track through, because you've got two lip planes, this plane here and this plane. So there may be options for unsymmetry and probably be out of angle a bit, and I'm not very sure whether the self-centering line tie would overcome this if I would have worked too inaccurate. I've got this design from the book of lure fishing. I don't remember the title, by British pike angler Charlie Battelle, which came out by the end of the 1990s, that book. But I think it's a very reliable construction as well for a Z-lip. And here's another construction that I have thought of, also for a Z-lip. You see the clip passes this way, also moves 30 degrees, 25 degrees to either side. It's a bit more elaborate to furnish. This is actually the first prototype I would do this way. But I'm very fond of these self-centering line ties, because I can skip the troubles of tuning the finished lures. Question would remain whether these Z-lips would still track through like these lips do. Never had any issues with these. Every lure I've made with such a lip and line tie configuration has tracked through so far. Okay, apart from pinning the lip, you could also use screws. Of course, it doesn't look that nice with the screw heads protruding over the lure body, but fish won't care. Okay, I'm just quite fond of these line ties, as I said. So maybe with my little video I could provide some input to the fellow lure makers out there. I'm quite certain that these type of line ties would work with such 3mm Lexan or polycarbonate as well. Actually, I have never dared to do it, because I'm just confident for 95%, not 100%, whether the lip might not snap off with a big fish on it. So far I'm only going through wired, but I think it would be possible to do such self-centering line ties to such thick polycarbonate as well. Of course you would need to pin the lips as well, so they will not pull out under strain. Okay, that was my little video about self-centering line ties. Thanks a lot for watching. Goodbye.